Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. Today we're going to do the last step on the body of the bubble before we attach it to the bodice. Now I need to gather the fabric to make the length of the fabric shorter before I can actually attach it to the bodice piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew my gathering threads in today. Now, I think I mentioned that on the placket, on the back of the placket, we want it to close right over left. So I have ironed one side of the placket inside of the garment, and the other side of the placket is ironed where it is just where it's open, and they lay nicely right on top of each other. Now I have set my sewing machine for a straight stitch. I changed my stitch length to a basting length, and on my machine that's a 4.0 stitch length. So I'm going to sew two straight lines to have two gathering threads. Now you want to have some thread to pull, so you might want to pull a little bit of your thread through your needle and out of your bobbin, and then hang it out there in the back. Now if your machine automatically cuts thread, you might want to turn that feature off while you're making basting threads. Now I'm going to sew my first basting thread 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the fabric. So I'm just going to start, sewing in a straight line along the edge of the fabric, 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the fabric itself. Okay, now when I get to the seam, I have already ironed that seam facing towards the back of the garment. So as I do the basting stitch, I want to make sure that that seam is still pointing or still folded to the back, and I sew right over that seam. Now I will sew all along the top of this garment, but since it's straight stitching, I think I'm going to stop here for just a minute because I've already put the basting stitches in on the blue bubble. Okay, so the first basting stitch, I've got thread hanging out at the beginning. I did not clip my threads, and I've also got thread, several inches of thread loose at the end of the gathering threads also, because that's going to be important. But if you'll notice, they are roughly 1/8 of an inch from the top of the garment, and then the second gathering thread is 1/4 of an inch away from the first one. Okay, now once we've got that in, we can start pinning this to the bodice, gather the body piece up, and then sew it to the bodice itself. But that's what I'm doing today. I just need to finish sewing my gathering threads on my pink bubble. Thank you.